Okay. Well, good evening, everybody. I am on Facebook Live, and I'm getting ready to do these pecan bars um, that I said I was going to do. Um, so, how y'all doing? uh, Man, can you believe it? I want to be on here by 6:30. Honey, production. Okay, I need to turn this just a little bit. Yeah, actually, bring it over this way. Oh, it needs to stay over here. There we go. So you all can still see me over here. I'm hoping and praying. I'm going to bring you a little bit closer. And you're going to be kind of in the way of YouTube. YouTube, I'm going to bring you over just a little bit. This way. Okay, I think this will work. All right. We'll turn this way. And then we'll do it like this. Okay. So, hello everybody. I'm here to make these plant-based delicious pecan pie dessert bars. They are vegan. They are gluten-free. And they are free of any animal products. So, if you come on and join me live, praise God. If you're not able to join me live, I hope you enjoy this video. I have been inspired, and I will probably go back and add the link to both of these lives, which are on Facebook and YouTube. But Holy Cow Recipes. Vashti is the one who does the recipes and the cooking and the demonstrations. I was inspired by her, saw it, and I was like, I'm going to try this. So I do, just a little bit of variation from what she does, but it is they're absolutely delicious. Anybody who ordered them from me and had those, hi Morgan, and had those pecan pie bars, thoroughly enjoyed them. So I'm gonna make them and show you how I do that. Okay, so you're gonna need a food processor, which I have right here, and I've plugged it up. I'm gonna go ahead and put all the, I won't need this part. Put that over there. But I got my food processor and the ingredients for the base of the cookie bar. So that's the cookie portion, not the pecan topping. The base. Okay, so your ingredients for the base is 1.5 cups of fine almond flour. Okay, so this is almond flour. This is organic almond flour, which is quite expensive, but hey, this is how it is in the plant-based world. So 1.5 cups of almond flour. I'm just going to go ahead and gradually put that in here in the food processor. I already have my oven preheated to 350. And after I get this together, then I'm going to put it in the oven for 15 minutes, and we'll make the other part of the pecan bars and put that on top, and then you cook it for 15 more minutes. So here's the next 1/2 cup of this almond flour. This is going to make an 8x8 pan of pecan pie cookies. One thing about almond flour is it's a little cakey. It has a bit of moisture in it. So when you're dumping it out, you look in there and make sure you got it out. Okay. to that, 1.5 cups of almond flour. To that, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Just going to put that in there. Cornstarch is another one that sticks in the. Okay. We're going to get it out of there. Come on, out of there. Okay. So, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. I'm going to add 1/2 cup of organic light brown sugar and 1/2 cup of organic pure maple syrup. Just going to pour that in there. Actually, that's 1/4 cup and 1/4 cup, not 1/2. So 1/4 and 1/4, which comes up to 1/2 cup of sugar. So one's going to be liquid, one's going to be dry. I like doing it that way because the moisture makes it easier for me to press the cookie base down into the pan. So there's that. Then you're going to need 1/4 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to go ahead and add that in there. Make sure I got it all. Okay, and that is the cookie crumble. Not the cookie crumble, but that's the cookie portion of these pecan pie bars. Okay, so I'm going to pulse it until it turns into a nice dough. Keep pulsing it until it gets a little sticky. Let's see if it's getting sticky. Oh yeah. It's getting sticky. Okay. A few more pulses. Okay. I think that's good. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull this piece out. It's kind of crumbly, but if you can squeeze it together and it makes a dough, which is what it's doing, then it's good. And so we're good. I'm going to set this over here. And I have my Pyrex 8x10 baking dish. I'm going to lay it right here. Whenever you're dealing with baking sugar and using all types of sugars, I think the best thing for you to do is use parchment. Make sure that bad baby comes out. Okay? I mean, you could probably use Baker's Joy or, whatever you use for your nonstick. But when you're making candy bars or cookie bars or brownies, even brownies, I'm just a parchment girl these days. The cleanup is easier and it comes off of the cookie sheet and out of the pan easier. Okay, so I've got 2 pieces here, same size. It's an 8x8 baking dish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one in this way. I'm going to put one in this way so that this pan is thoroughly covered, okay? Because I want it to come out. And it just, once it sets, all I did was lift the paper out and then cut the bars. It was amazing. I appreciated it. Okay, so I'm going to, I want to make sure this is well blended. You know how sometimes when you use the food processor, some of the moisture gets stuck down at the bottom and it's not spread evenly through the mixture. But I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, so I'm just going to dump this in here like that. That's what I'm going to do. The recipe I'm calling out, the measurements is for a 4x4 pan. So if you're going to do a 9x11, you just double the recipe. Hi, Lisa. Guess what I'm making, girl? And Micah. Yes. I love pecan anything. Girl, what you said. I will sit up and eat a whole bag of pecans. I sure will. And heaven forbid if they are cinnamon pecans or pralined pecans. Oh, it's a wrap. I'm gonna eat the whole bag. And pecan pie too. Now, Reverend Woodard loves pecan pie, but he loves these bars too. He has fallen in love with these bars too. Morgan, I'm going to tell you what your Uncle Mel said. He said, Bev, you should make a batch of those and bring them to the wedding. I said, are you serious? You're trying to start a fight. So I don't know, Morgan, maybe I'll make you some and bring you as part of your wedding gift. Because they are delicious. Do you like pecans, Morgan? Are you allergic to pecans? Hopefully you're not allergic. Okay, so Lisa, I know you said you wanted to order some. And I've been trying to figure out the shipping and handling and all that for these pecan pie bars. Okay, so I have evenly mashed this cookie dough down into the bottom of this baking pan. I'm allergic to them, sadly. Okay, well, see, I'm so glad I didn't bring them. Listening to your uncle. But so I mash it down in there evenly. And you don't want to mash, you want to keep the sides down because they're bars. It's not a pie, they're bars. So you want to mash, make sure the sides are down even too. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put them in this 350-degree oven. And we're going to bake them for 15 minutes. We're going to bake it for 15 minutes. Oh my goodness, I didn't know I had another cookie sheet sitting in here. Small apartment living. Some things you wash the cookie sheet and then you leave it in the oven. You put it back in the oven because you have nowhere else to put it. Well, I know this thing is hot. So I'm going to set it right there and let it cool off. All right, and I'm going to take this and put it in the oven. We're going to let that cook, bake for 15 minutes. Timer. Okay, so while that's getting ready, the next thing I'm going to do is make the pecan topping. I've got my nice little saucepan here, and that's all I need. So the sauce on top calls for I don't know who. Okay, evidently I didn't turn off my notifications. There we go. Okay, so I turned off my notifications. Okay, so you need 1/4 of a cup, which is half of a stick of plant-based butter. I use Country Crock plant-based butter. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there like that. And squeeze out all the butter because it's kind of soft. I don't want to leave any behind. Okay, so, and then you're going to add a 1/2 cup of either brown sugar, table sugar, or you could use pure maple syrup. I am combining 1/4 cup of organic brown sugar and 1/4 cup of organic pure cane sugar. Okay, so I'm going to add that to the mix here in this pot, this saucepan. The next thing we're going to add is I need 3 tablespoons of non-dairy milk, 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. So let's start with the 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. 1, 2. Then we're going to go with 3 tablespoons of our plant-based milk. I'm going with coconut milk. 1, 2, and 3. And then we need 2 tablespoons of pure organic maple syrup. It doesn't have to be pure organic maple syrup. It can be pure maple syrup, okay? I'm just, some things I just want to be organic. So 2 tablespoons of this. 1, and 2. And then we need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, I believe that's correct. 1 teaspoon. Let me look back over here. Yes. 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 Everything yes. Okay. The one thing about baking and what makes it just a little bit more tedious than cooking is you can cook by the spirit easier than you can bake. Baking is a little more precise because if your measurements are just a little off, it's the difference between a cake falling and a cake standing, a crispy crust or a chewy crust. So you have to be, even though our mothers and grandmothers say, I cook by the spirit, they memorize those measurements. That's what they did. Because baking is different from just cooking. You add a little bit, you can taste it. Once you put all the ingredients and you put it in the oven, it's a wrap. Okay. You can't go back and taste it and say, I need to add something else to it. No, not with baking. So that's my take on baking. It's precise in a lot of instances, because if you're not precise, it won't turn out like you want it to turn out. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here, and you're supposed to bring this to a boil. You have to stir it. And I got me I'll use my little red silicone spoon here. So bring it to a boil, and then you let it boil for 1 minute. Then you take it off the heat, and then you add your pecans. So you don't put the pecans in there while you're cooking the sauce. Okay, so you put the pecans in there after you take it off the fire, and then you place it over the top of the cookie crust. Okay, all right, so let's see here. Let's get it going. I got my little saucepan here. I give you a look-see into the pan. So you see, the butter is, one thing about plant-based butter is it doesn't melt like cow's milk butter. It takes a little bit of time. So you have to keep stirring. And so I'm going to keep stirring until the butter is fully melted. And then when it comes to a boil, I'm going to let it boil for a minute. After it boils for a minute, I'm going to take it off of the heat and then add my pecans. Turn it up just a little bit. Keep stirring, keep stirring. Okay. I think I'm going to let that sit there. I need to get a saucer to set my spoon in. Y'all see I got all these vegetables sitting over here, these fresh vegetables. I'm going to make Dr. Woodard a big salad because this is his late night. So when he comes in late, I like to give him, a nice big salad so that he doesn't go to sleep on heavy food. There are those times when he's like, no, I want that. Mashed potatoes and whatever. I'm like, dude, it's late. But most times if I have the salad ready for him and it's beautiful, and I've made him his favorite dressing. He will eat that and be satisfied. So, okay, it's getting ready to come to a boil here. It's a boiling. It's a boiling. All right, now we're going to go ahead and put the timer on for a minute. Let it boil for a minute. And the reason you only want to let it boil for a minute, because the thing about sugars is if you let it boil too long, it'll turn into candy. And we don't want candy. We want kind of a flaky, delicate topping for our pecan bars. Are we up to 32 seconds? 29 seconds. I'm just going to keep stirring here. Now let me see if I can see who else is on. I'm not sure. Oh, that's Micah. That's Micah. Dr. Gamble. How you doing, Valerie? Brittany. Hi, Brittany. Let me see who else is on there. Somebody else is on there. I just can't see. Okay, let me take this off. Turn that off. Set it right on top of here. And here is my 1 cup of chopped pecans. Okay, 1 cup of chopped pecans. I'll go ahead and put it in there like that. I wish y'all could smell this stuff. It smells absolutely amazing. So I've got the pecans in here. Wow. I really would like to add more pecans. I don't know. I like extra pecans. But so this is what it looks like. It just looks like pecans in a very heavy syrup. Okay. And I'm sorry about that, Facebook. I was trying to show. Let the you love pecans. Oh, well, honey, this is for you. This is for you, honey. Annette. Hey, girl. How you doing? So have a good night up, Bev. See y'all. Yes, baby. You too, darling. I love you. And yes, see you on Saturday. Okay, and so we got I think it's pretty much stirred up really good here. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave that be. We're going to move this food processor out of the way. Set it over here. Get all of my little measuring cups out of the way. We got about 5 more minutes before we take the cookie bar portion out. Now, so let's go back over those ingredients again. I have them written down here. So 1.5 cups of almond flour. 1.5 cups of almond flour, 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, baking soda, and salt. Okay, I use pink salt. You use whatever kind of salt you want to use. 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. And 1/2 cup of, well, I did 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar and then 1/4 of a cup of maple sugar. So 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar and 1/4 of a cup of maple. And it just makes the dough, it makes it so much easier for you to mash it down rather than just using straight up sugar. So the maple syrup adds wonderful flavor, but it also adds a little bit more moisture that makes it easier to mash that crust down into the pan so it can bake. Okay, and then So the topping is 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, uh, a half a cup of, well, actually, I did a half a cup of uh, cane sugar and a fourth of a cup of cane sugar, and I did a fourth of a cup of brown sugar, organic brown sugar. So that gave me a half a cup of sugar. And then 3 tablespoons of non-dairy milk. I use coconut milk. You can use almond. You can use soy if you don't have a problem with soy, but any non-dairy milk. 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and then, of course, your cup of pecans that you add after everything boils for a minute. Then you take it off the heat, and then you add your chopped pecans. All right, so that's that. We got 2 minutes here left. While the 2 minutes are coming along, I got to show you the kinds of salads. You already know because I'm always making pictures, posting pictures of my salads. So y'all know the kind of salads I make for me and Dr. Woodard. I like for them to be pleasing to his eye. And he likes the presentation. And so eating it is a joy and not like, well, why are you giving me all this rabbit food? Who is this? I get to see you. Yes, in 1 week. Yes, you do, girl. Really less than a week, Sherry. Isn't it? I think it's less than a week. Hi, Lynthia. And listen, so, okay, that's my, you got seconds beep. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and do that before I do this salad. We're going to go ahead and add we're going to add 20 seconds. Remember I told you baking is precise in my book. I mean, there may be some people who are not precise with their baking, but you won't be guessing if it's going to come out right. I'm just saying, because baking, you cannot go back and add nothing to it after it's baked. Okay? So you're going to get it right the first time. I'll do it all the way over. Okay, so here we go. Our crust, cookie crust. I don't know why I turned this off, because we still got to put it back in the oven. Okay, so you can see it's just a little bit of browning around the edges. Just a little bit of browning around the edges, not a lot. And I'm going to set it down right here. Then I'm going to just go ahead and pour all these delicious, sugary pecans on top. And then we're going to put it back in the oven for 15 minutes. Put that over there. Spread it out. Oh, it smells good and it looks amazing. So I'm spreading the pecans evenly. And I'll show it to you. As you can see, I believe you can see. Oh no, I gotta back up. Now you can see. Okay, you can see the pecans spread evenly on top. We're gonna put it back in the oven for 15 more minutes. Okay, I'll put the timer on. Okay, there. So we're gonna let that cook for 15 minutes. And while that's cooking, I'm going to make this amazing salad for Dr. Woodard. Okay. All right. So I don't know how many of you, what kind of lettuces that you like to use, but I love the Buttery Bev. It's a very tender green lettuce. I got the hydro, whatever you call them, where they grow them in water. And so that's the one I get. It's beautiful. The color is amazing. And it tastes amazing. I mean, it tastes like iceberg lettuce, except for it's just a more tender, bright kind of lettuce. Okay, so that's the Buttery Bev lettuce. I like to use that. I also like to use fresh spinach. Okay, so I got me some fresh spinach leaves here. A beautiful bunch of leaves. These did not come out of the bag. They were bunched in the produce section. So you have to take the time and pull the leaves off yourself. So I got my 2 lettuces here that I'm going to be using. The other lettuce that I love to use is, I love the arugula and baby kale mix. And then I love the organic spring mix. Okay. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my little mini salad spinner here. And I'm going to break off me some leaves in here. I'm going to wash them, rinse them with water. Okay, that one's not so good. And I'm just taking the stem off. You can eat the stem, y'all, but like I said, I like the presentation. When I'm cooking or stir frying the spinach, I will leave the stems on. If I'm just cooking spinach, to be eating it, I'll leave the stems on because they get tender just like the leaves, and it's okay. And they have nutrients as well. So, how much spinach you want, Beverly? He likes spinach in his salad, so I try to cater to what he likes, so he'll eat it. What you said? Yeah, I want him to eat it. I don't want him to be picking all over it. I want him to eat it. Okay, so I think that's plenty of spinach leaves. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm going to take these and put them over here in the sink. All right, and then I'm going to take some of this Buttery Bev lettuce. Now, they make amazing little lettuce boats. You put whatever you want in here, avocado, tomatoes, put it right in there and just eat like a sandwich, y'all. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to gently tear it into a few pieces. I don't want to tear it up too much because it's just a beautiful lettuce. And I like the way it looks. And since I'm not making a boat, I'm just going to tear off a few leaves here. A few leaves or 2. Okay, and then we're done with that. I'm going to go ahead and rinse this off and then spin it. It's not very, if you will, soiled. It's not real soiled, but you really should go ahead and give it a rinse. Okay, which is what I'm doing. All right, so I've given it a rinse, and now I'm going to spin it. Spin that water off. And go the other way. sure we get all the water, as much water as possible out of it. Okay, then we're going to pull it out. Look at that water. You don't want that in the salad. Okay. Then we're going to pull it out. Like this. That's probably a lot. I may end up making 2 salads. And we'll sit there and eat it together. So let me go over here and grab another bowl. And I also need a knife. All right, because some of these leaves are a little broad. So I just do a gentle chop, a coarse chop, maybe once across the middle, and it works for me. All right. Okay. That looks a little better. I want to make sure that that Bev lettuce shines through. So I'm bringing it out on top because I have more spinach than I do Bev lettuce. So, I mean, when you start off with a beautiful bed of lettuce, that's just a wonderful base for a wonderful salad, okay? So starting off with a beautiful base. Then we're going to go over here and get some, I've got some red cabbage. Red cabbage is just, first of all, it's good for you. And the pop of color that it adds is amazing. So we got some red cabbage. I think that's plenty. I'm just going to toss it on top. Look at that. That red cabbage on top of that. Lettuce is beautiful. So it's kind of julienne. It's julienne. And that's perfect. Okay, that's perfect amount of red cabbage. All right, the other thing I want to add is some cucumber. I want to add some cucumber. Cucumber is very good, and make sure it's a seeded cucumber. Is good for cleaning your lymph nodes. You know, sometimes when people have cancer in their body, and the oncologist says to them, it's in your lymph nodes, and they remove the lymph nodes. Well, when they take away the lymph nodes, they're taking away the very thing that's going to pull the toxins from their body. So if your lymph nodes are bad, you need to eat things that will clean your lymph nodes so that your lymph nodes can pull that cancer out of your body. But what do I know? So cucumbers with the seed, not the seedless. What? Nope, not the seedless. Cucumbers with the seeds, because they're not genetically modified, are wonderful things for the health of your lymph nodes. And not just the lymph nodes under your arms, ladies, you know, when you're dealing with breast cancer, when it's gone to the lymph nodes, but you have lymph nodes all over your body. And another way you keep your lymph nodes healthy is by stretching. I think Dr. Wood had talked about that on one of our lives on Breakfast with Mel and Bev, that stretching, it's not enough truly just to eat right, but there are other things that you need to do. You don't have to do them in excess. You don't have to go to the gym and sweat for 1-2 hours. Just stretching and walking keeps your lymph nodes healthy as well. So I try to put cucumbers in every single salad I make. Ain't gonna tell you no tell. So we got cucumbers on here. We got cucumbers. Yes. Okay. Some people like to eat the skin. It's a little tough for me. And honest to goodness, they put so much wax on it. I don't care how much you wash it. You still, that wax is still on there. So I'm like, I'm not going to deal with that. Over here, I've got some Roma tomatoes. So I'm going to do a Roma tomato. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of red pepper. And by the way, so when you buy your peppers, and I found this out from my son Melvin. So when he was here, he would go buy his own food and cook his own food because me and his dad were vegan, and he wasn't totally vegan. He still ate different meats, you know, like salmon, or he would do some chicken. But he bought some peppers, and they were red. And I was getting ready to cook, and I realized I didn't have any red peppers, but I had yellow peppers. I needed red peppers, and so I said, Melvin, I exchanged one of your red peppers from. I gave you one of my yellow ones, and I took one of your red ones. He said, that's okay, Mom. I said, well, what do you mean that's okay? I gave you a yellow one. He said, notice that's all I buy are red peppers. He said, because red peppers are the best for you. They've gotten the most nutrients from the soil and the sun. He said, your red peppers have more in them, and they are better for you. They are much better for you than the other colored peppers. And I said, oh, all right. So I try to add a little red pepper in our salads too. Always add a little red pepper. Red bell pepper. And this is all part of rainbow salads. The more color you have in your salads, the more you're alkalinizing your body. Lord, the fruit flies. The more you're alkalinizing your body, and the more, I'm trying to think of the name of the term I want to use. Your body has over 7,000 functions that it does on a daily basis, and it needs the nutrients to do that. And most of those nutrients are found in raw vegetables. Once you cook them, you almost eliminate the nutritional value that are in vegetables when they're cooked. Not that they're not good for you, but once you cook them and heat them up past 104 degrees, you have really eliminated a lot of the nutritional value, which is why you need to eat salads, very colorful salads, because each color of the rainbow represents something different that your body needs. So a salad every day will keep that doctor away. You know how they say an apple? No, a salad, okay, with every color of the rainbow in it. So purple, which is why I love to use the spring organic mix, because it has color in it, you know. And your heirloom tomatoes, they have a lot of color in them. But I like my Roma tomatoes. So I'm using my Roma tomatoes. Okay. And I think Roma tomatoes alkalinize your body a little bit better than the heirloom, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so these are looking beautiful. Hello, Danielle. Okay, aren't those looking beautiful? All right, so we got that. Now, I could do red onion or I could do green onion. I think I'm going to go with green onion because we got a lot of red and purple already. So I'm going to do green onions, scallions, whatever you want to call it. Let me rinse these off right quick. Get rid of the pieces I don't want. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and chop up 2 scallions. I'm going to sprinkle it on top. I love, okay. That means our pecan bars are ready. going to get them out here in just a second. Go ahead and finish cutting this up. Okay. So let's see what we got here. Oh my goodness, they smell so good. Okay, so right now they are bubbling. And that bubbling topping, that topping that's bubbling on there now is going to get kind of hard and kind of a flaky like look. It gives the bars a certain type of texture. You have to let them totally cool before you coat them or cut them. And I'm talking about it's going to have to cool for a couple hours, y'all. And y'all ain't going to be here. I'm not going to be here. So I'm going to let the baking dish cool completely. And then I'll lift the parchment paper out and I'll put the bars in the refrigerator. They keep in the refrigerator for up to a week. And I think in the freezer, in an airtight container, up to a week. In the refrigerator for about a month. And in the freezer, about 6 months, okay? But when you put them in the freezer, you got to wrap them in either foil or plastic wrap if you're going to keep them in the freezer. So they are, okay, so they're starting not to bubble so much, but so you can get a better look at them. Now what I could do is if I had whole pecans, at this point you take whole pecans and you set them on top of your squares, you know, however many squares you want to put. So you would put the whole pecans on there right now, so they would be able to set into the bars. But I'm not going to do that. But I just wanted to show you. I need my cork pot holder. My cork pot holder. All right. Because it'll cool quicker over here than it will on top of the stove, which is still warm. So that's the pecan bars. I'll have to show you what they look like tomorrow morning. Hi, back at you, beautiful. I've been into cooking a whole lot lately, so I'm honored to take some tips and tricks from you. Oh, bless your heart, baby. Okay, so I got these scallions I put on top of here. All right. Another thing that Dr. Woodard and I like to add to our salads is we love to add raisins, either dried cranberries or raisins. It just adds a little sweetness to it, just enough sweetness. And sometimes we'll do either kidney beans or black beans. We will add those to our salads for just a touch of protein, although spinach has quite a bit of protein in it. So the spinach has protein, but if you add any beans, then of course you got added protein. Okay, so these are beautiful. Now I'll give you a close-up of them. He's going to so be happy. Now what I'll probably do to mine is I'm going to add some cilantro to mine. He's not really into cilantro, but I am. I'll add some cilantro and even some pepitas. Pumpkin seeds. Oh yeah. Where are my pepitas? Where are they? Here they are. And these are roasted. He does like pepitas, so I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle a few of those on there. Like so, like that. Okay. So those are our salads. I'm gonna put these in the fridge, put them away. I'll give you a close-up of these beautiful, colorful salads that are going to just help us sleep real good tonight. You go to bed on this, okay? and not be bothered. What I may do is have me a couple of scoops of mango sorbet after I eat my salad. Mango sorbet. Try it by Haagen-Dazs. Haagen-Dazs makes an amazing mango sorbet. And it has no dairy in it. It is dairy free. Okay, so that's that. One of the other things I do, and I'm going to show you real quick, and then I'm going to let you go, is I make a dressing, a vinaigrette, some type of vinaigrette for Dr. Wood. So I've got garlic powder, I've got white pepper, I've got Italian seasoning. I'm going to need some oil, grapeseed oil, right there is good. And then, I don't know, I think I'm going to go with some lemon. A little bit of lemon. And then, do I have honey? Well, I've got agave nectar, and I've got honey. Or I could do maple syrup. It doesn't, either one of these sweeteners to add sweetness to your vinaigrette is fine, okay? But you got to have something citrusy or something tangy. So you can do this, or I could do the lemon, or I could do, do I have any more? I was thinking I had some white balsamic. There it is. I could do a white balsamic. I know people love the dark balsamic, but white balsamic is a kind of a lighter taste, and it's still very delicious. So maybe I will do that. I don't have much oil here, and I don't make my dressings out of vegetable oil. Sorry. Oh, you know what, though? I think I have some extra virgin olive oil, too. Yes, I do. There it is. I can add a little bit of that. There we go. So that should be enough oil. All right, and to that, I'm going to add a little bit of this white organic balsamic vinegar. Should I go with the honey? Should I go with the agave? Which one should I use? The honey, the agave, or the pure maple syrup? Any suggestions? Hey, Bev. Any suggestions over here? No suggestions. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to go with the blue agave. I'm going to go ahead and add that in there. And then I'm going to add a little bit of white pepper. White pepper caters to the back, to the pure maple. Oh, girl, I missed it. Both. Okay. I'm going to add a little maple in there too. Honey, it's all good. So some white pepper, and now I'm going to add some Italian seasoning. And then I'm going to add some organic garlic powder. And we gonna mix it up. We're about to see. What it's going to taste like. Oh, I forgot. You always got to add a pinch of salt, because a pinch of salt brings it all together. Otherwise, it tastes really bland. And like extra virgin olive oil, if you don't add a little salt, you will taste that bite in that olive oil. It's a in the extra virgin one, you will. Okay, let me do the pinky taste. See, it's perfect, but it needs even more perfection with that pink salt. Where's my salt? I got all kinds of stuff up here. Is the salt there? No. That's arrowroot, oat flour, pecans. Okay, here we go. So that's about a fourth of a teaspoon. You don't need a lot. That did it, y'all. That did it. And I'm still gonna put a little lemon in there. It's a little. A little lemon. A little lemon. And these are organic lemons. A little lemon. And a little lemon zest. Okay, now let's stir it up. It's just enough for me and Dr. Ward. That's about 3 ounces a piece, 3 or 4 ounces a piece. Let me see something here. Let me take a little piece of this bib lettuce and dip it in here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going to enjoy that salad. Who is this? John Nichols, Edwina Simmons. Hello, how are you both? Thank you for joining me. I'm just about done, so I'm getting ready to sign off. But I wanted to come on and make the pecan bars. And so while the pecan bars were baking, I started making these 2 beautiful salads for me and Dr. Order for when he comes in late this evening. So we'll sit and eat our salad, maybe drink a hot cup of tea. I'm going to have the mango sorbet. I'm going to have Haagen-Dazs mango sorbet. And he's going to have So Delicious dairy-free salted caramel cashew cluster. This right here. Okay, so I bought him this. I bought me this and I bought him this. When I tasted his, I was kind of angry that I didn't get 2 of these. But I still love mango sorbet. So both of these are very good. If you're looking for a dairy-free ice cream, So Delicious has some wonderful flavors. And this one right here, salted caramel cluster, made with cashew milk, and it has bits of cashews in it. Absolutely delicious. And this mango sorbet, absolutely delicious. So this is what we're gonna eat tonight. And if we're not too tired, then we'll watch one episode of Virgin River on Netflix. Okay, so love you guys. Thank you for joining me this evening for this live. Hopefully you've learned something. I'm all about encouragement. I'm all about hope, and I'm all about healing. And a lot of times, the best way for us to heal spiritually is to go to God in prayer. But when our bodies need to heal, the best thing to do is to eat those things that God intended for us to eat, and that's fruits and vegetables. And if you go back to the beginning, in the book of Genesis, everybody was supposed to be eating fruits and vegetables. Even the animals were supposed to be eating fruits and vegetables. When they were on the ark, they were not eating each other. They were eating the same thing. Noah and his family were eating fruits and vegetables. Okay. When he made all of this stuff, he said, and everything, all the vegetation was made for us to eat and the animals to eat. But, since the fall, things have changed. But when you're sick, honey, and you want to live, then eat things that are alive and not things that are dead. I'm just saying. Okay, that's enough of that. So Numbers 6, 24, 25, 26. The Lord is blessing you and keeping you. The Lord is making his face to shine upon you, and he's being so gracious unto you. The Lord has his face turned towards you, and he wants to give you peace, and he wants you to be in health. Amen. Amen. So love all of y'all. Let me come over here closer to the screen. I'm going to have to bag this one up just a little bit. So love all of y'all. Lisa Botcher, Micah Kincaid over here on YouTube, and then Valerie Johnson, Jeannie Crockett, John Nichols, Edwina, Sherry, Bam, Danielle Willis, Brittany Owsley, Annette, my aunt, my niece Morgan, who had to go. She's got a big weekend coming up. Lynthia Bruce, hopefully, and Dr. Valerie Gamble. Now, when I come on, oh, that's what you meant, Sherry. Okay, girl. It's all good, baby. It is all good. So listen, several of you on here want to know how to order those pecan bars. I will let you know how to order those tomorrow morning, because I'm going to show you them, what they look like after they've set, cooled, and I've cut them so you can see them. And I'll let you know how you can order those and what it's going to take for the shipping and the handling. And once you taste them, you're gonna love them. I'm just gonna say that you're gonna love them. Okay, so what did Daddy used to say? He said, "Are all hearts and minds clear?" Are all our hearts and minds clear? All right, then we will see you in the morning if the Lord says the same. Okay. I see Kathy Waiters, McAlpine. Hello there. I'm sorry I'm getting ready to, you'll have to do the rewind, Kathy, but thank you for coming on. So at least I could say hi to you. So good night, everybody. Love you guys. Bye-bye.